to Estancia San Carlos, and can we make money from sugar? Before we start, let's set the currency to the correct unit. So dollars and kilometers per hour feels right. I'm not sure. I'm going to run through some of the numbers and then we'll actually get to work on selling stuff. So I'll work out a way to put the numbers on the screen in the edit, but we have spent 250,000 on land, roughly. That'll vary, obviously, map by map. We've then spent on leasing vehicles all the way through to get from planting to harvest. We spent about $60,000. We spent about 12,000 on the crop, so the sugarcane plants, and then we've had about nearly £4,000 in other costs. And at this point, we've got a 25,000. But I keep saying pounds, pounds, dollars, or euros loan. So we started with 300,000. At the moment, we're 25 grand in debt, and we've got a little bit of cash. We harvested 1.079 million litres of sugarcane, which, if we just sold that at the best price, is worth about £237,000, which is pretty darn good, I think. But what we're going to do is we are going to sell some, pay off the loan, then get enough to buy a production, because the increase in value is pretty darn awesome. So sugarcane sells for a best price of about 225 pounds, dollars, euros per 1,000 litres on this map. If we use a production, we could turn our million litres into 500,000 litres of sugar. So you get about it's a 2-to-1 ratio of sugarcane to sugar. Sugar is worth between 844 and 946 pounds per $1,000. Pounds per 1,000 litres. Pounds, dollars, or euros per 1,000 litres. Wow, that was consistent. Basically, you're doubling the value of the crop, give or take a bit, maybe a little bit more. So I haven't done the exact numbers as I normally would. Things are kind of manic, so I thought it was better to talk through this and then we'll get into doing the gameplay. So my plan is to sell enough sugarcane to, actually probably more than we need to sell. The sugar factory can process 576,000 litres of sugarcane in a year. But that's what we're going to put in, because otherwise we won't have processed it all by the time we get to harvest. That leaves us 500-ish thousand litres to sell. So we'll sell that. We'll use the money from that to pay off the loan, place the mill, sugar factory, and then we'll put the rest in the sugar factory and get it producing. We're going to hold on to it and probably sell it at its best price, if we can. Which means we're going to have to do some juggling stuff around, so we might have to buy something to move the pallets around. But if I could find it in the list. So best price is, August, September, so we could sell it just before harvest. So hopefully most of it will be processed. The price variation is small enough that we could just sell it whenever, really. So we might do that. We might sell some as the price goes up a bit earlier in the year. So let's jump in the truck. I will have put those numbers on the screen somehow to go through it. Basically, my conclusion is that this is very profitable. My rough calculations is that we will end up in the first year having covered all of the costs, including buying the land, plus maybe a little bit of profit, maybe just not quite breaking even. Let me just do that calculation, shall we? So 432, we'll be borderline, depending on how much we get. We'll be just about breaking even with having bought the land. So we've still got the asset of the land, So that's pretty cool. Warehouse 3 or warehouse 2 are our best bets. So where are they on the map? Warehouse 2 is just across the road. So we're going to go there because that's closer. So we need to sell this plus a bit, basically. The entrance is down here. I know what I'm doing, honest. We're going to lose a bit of the field with placing replaceable, which is a little bit annoying, because that makes some of the comparison harder. I'm actually wondering whether we mess with that and place it on a separate piece of land. I'll have a ponder of that in a moment. Let's just get some of this sold and bring in some cash. So, if it'll let me, there we go. This should go up fairly quickly, although I haven't altered the tip rate, so we might be here quite a while. It looks like we might be here quite a while, so I'll probably speed this up. That's the first load sold, $110,000. Wow, that took a while. Let's pay off the loan. And then we can look at putting in our placeable. So I've just done a whole load of talking and realized that I wasn't actually recording, which is kind of annoying. So what I've done is, and I'll explain why as well. I've used EasyDev to give us plot 44, and I spent £70,000 placing the modern sugar factory, which is this guy. I originally was going to place it over here. So if we just get it back, it would fit not too badly there. But we would lose part of the field, and this is about testing. And one of the things that I mentioned last time was that after we harvested, we ended up with a needs ploughing state, which I thought was kind of weird because this is a crop that regrows. And I want to say thanks to Rapram for his comment that, yes, it generates the need to have the field ploughed, but sugarcane ignores the needs ploughing state. So in theory, this shouldn't affect the yield. And I would like to test that. So if I take away part of the field, we lose the ability to test that because part of the field is gone. So I've done it this way because we're testing. Yes, we're going to end up with ever so slightly more, but I think with the scale of what we're looking at, that doesn't really matter. And I think it will be interesting to check whether the crop actually ignores that needs ploughing state. So we've done that. We've sold our first trailer full of 500,000 litres of sugarcane. We need to sell a little bit more. The sugarcane factory can't process everything that we own. So that's got 500. That's got 29. So we'll take one of the ones with 25. I'm going to be lazy and do it the easy way. And put a whole trailer full in that means there's a bit of leeway as well in terms of processing for getting it all processed before we have to harvest again and sell again. So I'm not sure, and I'm not going to, whether we could mulch it at this point and it would regrow. Obviously, with such a large yield, mulching would give some benefit in the time that it takes. I don't want to risk it not regrowing. So maybe we'll test that at the end of year 2. Just as an extra little test. This should sell much quicker. Shouldn't need to time lapse this one, hopefully. And then everything else is going to go into the production. If we look in the production menu at sugarcane sugar, as I said, 2 litres of sugarcane gives 1 litre of sugar. Sugar is worth over 4 times as much as sugarcane, so we're basically doubling how much we get. This production will process 576,000 litres in a year, which is about what we're going to put in. It won't store that much sugar, so we are going to have to, at some point, either lease something or buy something to move the sugar pallet out of the way, or we could just cheat and we could use super strength. So comments down below, because it'll be a while before we get that far through. So literally the rest of the sugarcane can now go into the production, and we can get that going. And we need to work on re-prepping the field. Probably what I'll do is I'll skip ahead to November to start fertilizing, because that feels like a sensible idea to me, rather than trying to do it straight after harvest. That'll get some production going on as well. So if I grab this and pick this one up, there we go. Get that on the back. And we'll get all of this tipped in. And yeah, we are going to start making money, but literally within selling less than half of the harvest, we've paid off the loan and bought a production. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I kind of knew sugarcane was a very profitable crop. The downside of sugarcane is it's also very time consuming, and you can easily crash into gates. But I think that's with Farm Sim, there is a big factor that they've put in of time versus reward. So silage in corn takes a long time, big reward. Root crops take a long time, big reward. Sugarcane takes a long time, big reward. So they've definitely factored that in. Crops that are quicker to harvest generally pay a little bit less. So not too much in this one, but I will get the rest of these in the production and we'll be back. So that is pretty much all of the sugarcane. In fact, it is all of the sugarcane either sold or now into the production. 553,000 litres to go through, so just under what we can process in a year. We're going to activate that. It's set on storing, so we will get some pallets spawning. Jump out of the pickup truck or the big truck, and we can now return all of this. Let's get that all back, and that's done, and I will be back in the morning. So I've skipped ahead to November. The field is, we have weeds growing actually, so we could deal with those. It says herbicide is required, which is interesting. That's kind of weird. It doesn't say you could use a weeder, but actually I'm going to leave those. So the crop is currently still at harvested. It's going to stay like that until March. So I'm not actually sure. I don't think it will let us put fertilizer on, but we're going to try that. If it fails, then I'll just kind of go back and we'll skip ahead of time. But let's just have a quick look at our production. So currently there's 3,000 litres of sugar there, but I wonder if we also have a whole bunch of pallets. So quite a bit of sugar already. So yeah, that's going to be fun to deal with. So I have added in, this is not the most cost effective way of doing this job, but I thought it would be an interesting way of doing this job, and it fits with the theme. So the Yacto NPK 5300. So this is a 50-meter working width fertilizer spreader. We're going to lease that for $14,000. So yeah, not the cheapest way of doing it, but it's a bit of fun. And we're going to buy, I don't know how much fertilizer we're going to need. I'm going to buy 2 bags and see if that's enough. So I have no idea. I actually am not sure if it's going to let us apply fertilizer at the moment. As I said, if it doesn't, I'll have deleted this and we'll be in March, so it's kind of irrelevant. Right, let's set up a bit of VCA GPS. So we are way off where we want to be running. I'm going to go about there because I don't think the field is completely straight. So do that and off we go. And let's check the map. That is applying. Awesome. I know what I'm doing, honest. But yeah, we do have weeds growing, but I'm just going to leave those until later on, and we'll either get them out with mechanical or we'll spray them. We'll see. So obviously spraying them would result in a different yield, I think. But given the state of the field, I'm not sure if they'll regrow when we get to being further along. Maybe we'll do them next month in game. We will see. It's interesting. This has super maneuverability, but it handles like a boat. There we go. All-wheel steer. That's better. And when I say handles like a boat, I don't mean in a good way. You know, handles like a tanker rather than a rather nimble, agile boat. Well, that was kind of interesting. There we go. So shouldn't take too long to get this first stage of fertilizing done, and then next time we'll be in. Actually, how much interest did we pay? That was the bit that I didn't have last time. So we paid no interest because we returned the loan within the month. That's a little bit cheeky. A little bit cheaty. I guess it calculates interest at the end of the day. So interest-free loan, anyone? Yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, probably next video we'll do. We might have a go at the weeding just to see if it works, and we'll then progress through to when we can finish fertilizing. We're going to need to wait for the crop to grow. We might do some liquid fert for the next one, just for a bit of variety, just to yeah, I think if I was doing this properly in terms of me playing, I would be doing manure or slurry at this point. Get some organic fertilizer on there. You know, it's cheaper than this probably. But this is a way of getting the job done. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough fertilizer to cover the whole field. We're well over halfway through, so probably. Yeah, next time we'll the next fertilizer state I'll do with something else, but clearly sugarcane is a very, very profitable crop. It's not one that I do very often because it doesn't fit a lot of the maps that I play on. So I play on quite a lot of UK maps, and we don't grow sugarcane in the UK. So, yeah. But that is fertilizing pretty much done. I am going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members at this point. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And yeah, it was a very expensive lease for a very quick job, but it was fun. So, you know, awesome. Job done. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click the like button. Comments, questions, suggestions below. Sugarcane clearly makes money. We will roll into the next year and see how things progress, I guess.